I hear you. I hear you. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Okay, Alexis is having some technical difficulties. Alexis, don't worry about what the text says. Just let's go. Okay, we're live. Los Lobos. Okay, I'm going to do a little script and then we'll turn it over to you all. So welcome to an evening of Los Lobos hosted by the University of Tennessee at Martin. Tonight, we will spend the next hour listening to the live sounds of this amazing band and also engaging with them a la Q&A. Today is Friday, September 25th, and it's 8 o'clock Central Time. My name is Julie Hill. I'm the chair in the UT Martin Music Department, also a proud co-creator of Keeping the Beat by TNMEA, who is generously letting us use their platform to ensure this program gets to as many students, educators, and musicians in our state and beyond. I have the honor of co-hosting the program tonight with Dr. David Coffey, chair in the UT Martin Department of History and Philosophy, who also happens to be my awesome husband. This program is co-sponsored by our two departments at UTM with additional support from the Office of Student Life and Multicultural Affairs, as well as the Cultural Family Latino Student Recruitment Initiative, as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month on our campus. We encourage anyone listening to interact by replying to this video stream with your questions and comments, which are live, and you can put in the chat on Facebook and YouTube. I want to thank our Keeping the Beat members, Alexis Derryberry, who's president of our State Music Association, TNMEA, and Catherine Sam, who's one of my wonderful UT Martin graduates, a great teacher on Assist Tonight with Comments. One disclaimer, while this is being streamed live, it will remain on both the UT Martin and Keeping the Beat Facebook and YouTube pages for future reference. So as such, your comments will remain a part of the archive. So watch what you say. I'm going to turn it over to one of mine and David's favorite bands in the world, Los Lobos.
Yay! All right. Hit it, bud.
los puentes y abajo de la sombra y abajo de tus narices y abajo de la alfombra. Pero les digo, tenga cuidado, la venganza que llegará, la venganza que llegará, la venganza de los pelados. Pero nadie sabe qué, pero nadie nos mandó que escondan las memorias, la plata y el pan, pero para ser seguro nunca podrán. Pero les digo, tengan cuidado, la venganza que llegará, la venganza que llegará, la venganza de los pelados. Cuidado, la venganza que llegará, la venganza que llegará, la venganza de los pelados.
Wow. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Turn my video back on now. Hang on.
Yeah.
I love that tune. That is such a nasty, awesome groove.
Thank you.
So you all will ask a few questions just in between the playing, if that's all right.
Sure.
But in looking at the history of the band, David and I have followed you all forever, but we've got our teaching hats on tonight, and we want to try to teach students that are watching, you know, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, about starting out in the 70s. And from what I can tell, really, you know, trying to be mainstream with Western pop music, but then turning it around and embracing the folkloric sounds of your childhood and growing up. And how was that explored early on, and blending those two worlds? And a follow-up to that would be, how did you discover your unique voice and mixing all of those things together?
Uh, we were rock and roll musicians back when we were kids, and listen to Hendrix and Cream and all that stuff. And James Brown was around, and the Beatles and Stones, but it was the early '70s. The cultural awareness, bloomed, and it had been explored with art and literature stuff, but no one had got into the music. So I don't know. Somehow we felt a calling, I guess. To So we started going through our mom's record collections and going to all the local drugstores and markets had record racks, and we started buying up the old records, and we were inspired to learn the stuff, to learn our stuff.
Who was one of those first bands that you just heard and went, okay, we need to change our sound? From your mom's.
Well, there was a singer. His name was Miguel Aceves Mejia, and he sang with a mariachi, but they did the huapango, this rhythm that's there's different versions of it all over Mexico, and maybe Louis could play it for you, a little example of it.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on a second. I want to change that guitar. Put this little guitar on here. This is a Wapango guitar.
All right.
It's called a Wapango. It's a Wapango.
And
that's
what's
what-
going on in there.
That's what got us, because we couldn't figure it out.
We couldn't do it.
It was too hard, we had to. So that's that rhythm right there is what got the band started.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly right.
I love it.
You know, like we're teenagers. We thought
Oh,
we
great,
knew
it's
everything.
too.
So we heard this and we said, "Holy cow, what's going on?" And then we discovered that on some of those records that we found, that some of those guitar players are like blowing away like our idols, like Clapton and Hendrix and all that. We were like, "Wow, what's going on here?" So we got intrigued. We jumped in and we got right in the middle of it, and we didn't know what the heck we were doing. But we've discovered all this music that was just kind of hanging out in our house that we didn't even pay attention to because it was just kind of like background, our parents' music. And
You
then
guys didn't
got
have
into it
any
and we decided-
mentors in terms of musicians other than just listening to albums of your parents, right? No living musicians in the area that were helping out.
Well, as
There was
time went
one.
on, we got to meet these guys.
Yeah.
There were musicians all over that we were just in a different
Different place. Yeah.
yeah.
Music.
And
There was
We're in a
there was
parallel
one
universe.
gentleman that he actually lived near where I lived, where I grew up. His name was Lalo Guerrero, and he was one of the most famous artists in that area. And so people went to listen to him, my family included, but I never did because I was listening to Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles. You know.
My God, how cool. So when you all made these connections that were right in your own neighborhood, sounds like, I'm sure that made those guys feel really special, and you as well.
well, yeah, we were trying to play this stuff, and some of the musicians, the guys that knew how to play it, they came up to us and they said, you guys aren't doing it right, but we like where your heart's at, and so they embraced us and started teaching us.
Yeah, we can't
Right,
get
and so you
out of everybody.
sorry, go ahead. Pardon.
Well, you got to realize that we learned how to play this music. We all had long hair and beards, so it's kind of a weird thing, you know.
I didn't have a beard, but I wanted one.
So that was the first part, you know. But we were playing the traditional music in the traditional forms, and it
Yeah.
kind of blew a lot of people's minds.
I think our parents really kind of liked the idea that we're doing something that meant something to them, because of course is that the old generation. Hey, I'm still trying to work this mask, okay?
I know.
This generation gap is going on, of course. The kids' music and we got our music. and we kind of created this kind of bridge, and they kind of enjoyed it, and we found like a lot of fulfillment and and I can't use this mask and talk. And we found a
No,
lot of
it's,
satisfaction being able to relate to those our okay, I got to play this thing because I'm turning it up every time you talk, and I got to turn it down when I talk.
sorry, Louis, but do you guys remember a point where you took that folkloric music that made your parents so happy that y'all were looking at, and you took the Hendrix and stuff, your long hair that you were, do you remember a moment when you went, we can meld these worlds, and what might have come from that? Like that moment?
Oh, you don't want to know where that happened.
Oh boy, that's our secret recipe for success, right? Yeah, we wouldn't be in this room with masks on if it wasn't if we gave that up. But
Well, can you guys play a tune from that time, or is that easier than telling a secret story?
no, we could actually tell a story a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
you know what it really was, it was that we didn't think about it, you know, because the music that we grew up with was you know, Motown and Beatles and Beach Boys and mariachis playing in the background, so it all kind of mixed up anyway. So it didn't seem like everything belonged in only one spot, in one category. You know, back then we were listening to radio, and radio was all mixed up. It didn't become as compartmentalized until much later. So it didn't feel weird for us to take our own kind of energies as rock and roll guys and apply it to traditional music. But when the actual music itself started to change was much later on, when we actually started to combine the, you know, some of that stuff together. And it still makes its way into it. Like the song we just played is kind of a combination of traditional and you know, modern rock and roll.
No, that groove you guys lay down in that tune is just so heavy and so complex. I love the heavy downbeat. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's all about that downbeat.
It is.
So it's all at once.
Would y'all like another question, or would you like to jam a little more? We're flexible.
Well, we have another question would be good because we're trying to get
Yeah.
another instrument to
I'm
play.
trying to set up another instrument
Yeah.
so we can play an example of
Yeah.
Yeah.
something that.
Okay, I've
So
got a
how
pretty,
how are y'all doing out there? How are y'all doing?
we're
out-
okay. We're in Northwest Tennessee.
I think he's got one.
Mm,
This university was started as sort of a resource for agrarian kids. It's kind of a farming area.
mm,
And the university is sort of the center of Northwest Tennessee in terms of learning and knowledge. And we're surrounded by a lot of small towns. Memphis is about 2 hours. So I don't know if y'all know your Tennessee geography, but it's like a big parallelogram, and we're right here, and Memphis is here, and Nashville's here, and Knoxville's way over in the mountains. So we're sort of the flat Memphis Delta Mosquito side of Tennessee, not the mountainous Rocky Top part.
What's the river that runs through your area?
Yes, and the Mississippi is the
Right there. Okay.
vein.
Yeah, the Mississippi and the Ohio, we're about an hour from each of them.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
So we're in the Delta.
Right on.
Yeah, it's mosquito season.
It is.
Over
It's
here.
ending, thankfully.
I got one
Bad
right
over
here.
here, too.
I got bit last night. Oh,
But it's a cool place to be, and I thank you for asking. But the students here are really great, and they're hungry for knowledge. And you know, this climate going on right now in the U.S. More than ever, we just want to help provide opportunities for the students to learn about great bands like you. Like David and I've been a fan of you all for years, but just providing some different opportunities for them to expand and learn about some different cultures and that are outside of this area. And I have a strange Kiko question next, which you probably get regularly, I would
Let's
guess.
go.
Okay. So in trying to learn to read more complex chords as a young, sort of trying to be jazz musician and improvise better I'm a percussionist, so steel drum vibes through the years. Kiko always was a tough song for me to learn. And I looked it up. I think it's in A minor, right? Or at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my easiest key to play in on the steel pan. But when I tried to play the chord structure in Pico, it doesn't lay well. So what are all the nuances of that make it so funky monkey? And how in the hell did you guys write that tune?
Take it away, Steve.
Well, I had written. I mean, I read this or I saw an interview with Dizzy Gillespie, and he was talking about Monk,
Oh,
and he said he was the first guy he ever heard play like major scale intervals around minor keys, and that was the, you know, that's kind of where I heard what he said, and I tried to figure something out, and that's what happened.
Man, okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, so
Do you
It's
guys-
sort of an A melodic minor. If you
Okay,
vaguely,
well that's
with
okay.
a sharp
Melodic
six.
minor chord. Yeah, I always had a lot of trouble learning that one as a youngster.
Because we're so complex.
I know.
And chubby.
Oh,
And chubby.
Yeah.
you guys are spelt. No way.
A melodic minor, sharp six.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for y'all to play just a little snippet of that, or is that
Sure.
Yeah.
okay? That'd be great.
Here we go.
Pico and the lavender moon I play and makes believe nobody can see. Then he waits, then he fakes, then he bends and then he shakes. He plays and plays, still playing till he goes off to sleep. Pico and the lavender moon are dancing, making faces at a big black cat. Then he flies up to the wall, stands on one foot, doesn't even fall. Dance and dance, still dancing till he goes off to sleep. He always sleeps till the sun goes down. He never wakes till no one's around. He never stops, can't catch his breath. It's always there, scares him to death. Kiko and the lavender moon are dancing, make faces at a big black cat. And then he flies up to the wall, stands on one foot, doesn't even fall. He dreams and dreams, disco and the lavender moon.
That was fabulous. Oh my gosh. Thank you for doing that. It's amazing. Okay, we have one question, you all, from the audience of about David and Louie meeting in high school and bonding over mutual affinity for obscure musical acts. And I think some people would like to know who those obscure bands actually were.
Well, they're not obscure anymore. I guess
Not anymore.
Neil Young and Crazy Horse was a big one.
Fairport Convention.
Fairport Convention, the band.
The band.
Oh, we love Levon.
Yeah, he's the greatest. Incredible string band.
Yeah.
You guys did an awesome Almond Brothers band cover when we saw you in Nashville. I forgot what it was, but it
It was
was
off for a second.
wonderful.
Oh, thanks, man.
One Way Out, I think.
Or Don't Keep Me Wondering, maybe.
No, don't keep me wondering. That's what it was. Yeah, that was that, and that's such a tough song. So that was great. That was amazing to hear you all pull that out. That was just great.
Oh, thanks, man. We get lucky sometimes.
A lot, actually.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. We depend on it.
Okay, the next question is a very selfish question from me. And one of the things I've always loved about, well, you guys are the greatest dance band ever. Like, I love dancing. We have cut a rug to so many of your concerts, and you didn't know who we were, and that's good. But in terms
Now we
of
do.
no, but the songs that I just want to listen to and not dance to and just appreciate for the listening art, the ones that are my favorite are the ones that have a rising bass line. And so I want to ask Conrad, I don't know if that's like The Valley, for example, that rising bass line combined with David singing really high on top of that is like, that just kills me. I love it. So where do you get the idea to do that? Because most bass lines don't do that.
Did he pay you money?
No, but I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the rising bass line. I love it.
Yeah. Conrad paid you off. I know he did.
No, I've never. I talked to him once. in
Okay.
Nashville.
Take it away, Conrad.
It was at the Cavern.
I'm sorry, at the Cavern.
It's funny, you know, I love playing bass. And when Dave and Louis, whoever comes up with an idea of songs, I try to do a nice structural kind of idea for the bass. Because, you know, I don't want them to be disappointed what I do. So I just kind of elaborate on ideas that I stole from the Beatles and the Yardbirds and Yes and everybody else. So that's it. I'm a thief.
We all are.
That's what we all teach our students to do, like plagiarize and learn it and then make it your own language. But that's definitely something with the group that, other than the cumbias and the dances and just that, when you're not playing that type of music, I love the ascending line. So just wanted to point that out. It's
Well,
noticed.
thank you.
Take it away, Conrad.
Take it away, Conrad.
Go
What are we doing?
Gonna do it?
on.
Valley.
Duh.
Oh my God, thank you.
Oh wow!
What key
Wow.
was that in?
All right.
instead they chose to stay to watch the clouds way up high as they turned to gray. Then through the dark broke a crimson sun, and from that moment knew that lives had just begun. Here in the valley, bread on the table, work through the day for as long as we are able. Here in the valley, blue is the night, out of the darkness into the light. Here in the valley, bread on the table, work through the day for as long as we are able. Here in the valley, blue is the night, out of the darkness into the
Love it. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for playing that. It's brilliant. So beautiful. Okay, we've got a very specific question from the YouTube live comments, and this is a childhood friend of mine and then now a professional friend, Ben Graves, who plays, I think he's worked with Steve before. Steve, I don't know if you remember Ben, great saxophone player and guitarist in Nashville.
I think so, yeah.
And Ben says, fantastic. Since Julie asked a Kiko question, I have one. How did you achieve the first low note on the acoustic guitar part of Peace? It seems the guitar is tuned to D, but the first note is low.
Wow, it is
That's pretty specific.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks, Ben.
I had a baritone acoustic guitar made by Danny Farrington. So,
It's lower than a regular guitar.
yeah, just
Got it.
It's
It
a
is
drop
tuned
D
down to D.
kind of.
Very good. Okay, there you go, Benjamin. And how do you guys decide the like acoustic instruments that we've heard you play? We saw you at the Nashville City Winery and one other time, I think, but
and the War Memorial.
right. How do you all decide when you're gonna play with the acoustic instruments or mix it up or?
we'll change it up, but certain times of at least once a year we'll do an acoustic show, all traditional, or sometimes we call it Lobo Light, which is like acoustic versions of our other songs, not the traditional stuff. So we just try to keep it fresh for anybody, whoever's interested, so they keep coming back. So you guys keep coming back.
Well, we do. We do.
We need
Well,
you.
we know you're into advocacy. You support a lot of causes. We just watched that cool video of you all doing the Touch of Gray thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was just beautiful. But
Thanks.
we know you're interested in the vote. And
Yeah.
would you like to take a few minutes to talk about the vote this year and particularly the Latino vote?
Yeah, well, it goes without saying, this is one of the most important, let me turn this thing down, important elections in well, in my lifetime. I'm an old buzzard, but still, it's really important that if we want things to change, and we're right now at the precipice right now, we're kind of being pushed off a cliff and we got to hang on. And the only thing we got going right now is voting. Voting is a power, and we need to get the word out to all of our brothers and sisters, Latinos or whatever, that they got to get out and vote early. We know that voter suppression does exist. It's been going on for 100 years, and it just looks different, but it's still there. So you got to fight for your right to vote. Steve, you got something to add?
I couldn't really said that much better than that. I think it's this is without a doubt the most consequential election of our lives. We get to decide if, as far as I'm concerned, if we remain a democracy or not. So I can't. You guys are in a we're in a safely blue state, but I think your state is right on the precipice, as Louis mentioned. So I can't urge you enough to get out there and vote and make your voice heard. We're on the blue team, needless to say, but I think it's your obligation, regardless of where you stand, to get out there and make your voice heard. Don't let anybody tell you can't or you shouldn't or you won't. And just follow through. Do everything you can to make sure your vote counts. If you're going to go in person, get there early. If you have early voting where you are, get out and do it. If you're going to do it by absentee ballot, get out there and make sure it happens as soon as you possibly can.
Okay, en español, Bugs.
Thanks, Steve.
Simplemente para agregar a lo que estaban comentando mis compañeros, necesitamos de su voto. Es una elección extremadamente importante. Estamos viviendo un momento histórico y estamos, como comentaban mis compañeros, en el precipicio entre la democracia y el fascismo, y necesitamos actuar ahorita. Necesitamos platicar con toda nuestra familia, con nuestros amigos, nuestros conocidos. Salgan, voten, manifiesten su voto y ya saben, Biden-Harris 2020.
Gracias, Bugs.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was just gonna say that.
No, that's great. Steve, I was just reading, I get a little Times alert every morning, and I didn't even know in my own state that I couldn't do early voting or mail voting without a special circumstance. So I learned today, we're going to have to figure out how to go in safely and vote in person.
Golly. There you have it. Make sure everybody's watching. Just do the same thing. You can go to vote.org or headcount.org and you can find out what's the story where you are.
Check your voter registration status. You can register. You can find out whatever information you might need, and that's headcount.org.
Yeah, make sure that
So I want to, are y'all ready to play another one?
Yeah, they're
David
ready.
looks ready. Sorry.
We can play another one.
No. I want to make sure we take time that if y'all have some upcoming projects or new things going on, different collaborations, that you can use this to, promote any of that as well. So I don't know what y'all are working on.
Oh, working on our garden.
And that's very admirable.
Yeah,
And our cars.
it's a victory garden.
garden.
Victory garden.
It's really nothing right now. I mean, we're sort of in lockdown for 6 months like everybody else. So
Yeah.
we're working on a new record, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, our business was the first to shut down. It's going to be the last thing that opens.
No,
Right.
I
We're
understand.
we're in here somehow. We're trying to provide something in whatever this is going to look like for the next who knows how long. But we're
Oh,
doing
hey, you,
our best. And
you all, sorry.
having said that, check out loslobos.org and other places on social media to see what we're up to. We're gonna have some cool things coming up.
I do have a special guest before you guys start playing again. Our chancellor, Dr. Keith Carver, is joining tonight, and his son is at a football game, and he's pulled away just to say hi. And I wanted Keith is a big fan. Dr. Carver, can you say hi to the Wolves?
Wolves, listen,
Hey,
Keith
Chris.
Carter, very nice to meet you guys. I've been a longtime fan of yours. I'm calling you from an elevator shaft at a football stadium where I'm watching my two sons play football tonight. But I don't want to be between you and your next song. I want to listen to that during halftime. But just want to thank you for sharing your gift with us. You've been sharing your gift of music for a long time, inspiring a lot of people. I told Dr. Hill last night, you guys provide great highway tunes on road trips for me, and I really appreciate that. But when I signed on tonight, I really appreciate, I've heard you guys reminding everyone the importance of voting and the importance of keeping our democracy alive and exercising your right to vote. And I really appreciate using your platform, you encouraging all of us, our young people, our people who maybe not have voted in the past, to get out and make their voice heard. And so I applaud you for that. So thank you so much for doing this. Dr. Hill, thank you for providing it. And man, I want to listen to some tunes.
All right.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
man.
Thank you,
sir.
Chris, for
Thanks
everything.
for joining, boss. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What do y'all want to play?
A song called La Pistola y el Corazón.
Oh, that's Keith's favorite. It's his favorite song. So that's great for Dr. Carver.
No sé cómo decirte, no sé cómo explicarte que aquí no hay remedio de lo que siento yo, de lo que siento yo. La luna me dice una cosa, las estrellas me dicen otra, la luz del día me canta esta triste canción, esta triste canción. Los besos que me diste, mi amor, son los que me están matando, ya mis lágrimas están secando con mi pistola y mi corazón. Y aquí siempre paso la vida con la pistola y el corazón. No sé cómo amarte, no sé cómo abrazarte, porque no sé, me deja este dolor que tengo yo, el dolor que tengo yo. Esta noche tan oscura, con sus sombras tan tranquilas, el viento me sigue cantando esta humilde canción, esta humilde canción. pistola y mi corazón. Y aquí siempre paso la vida con la pistola y el corazón. Con la pistola y el corazón.
Sorry for the-
Awesome. Beautiful. Dr.
These
Carver,
were-
I see you're still on. Thanks for joining tonight. I know you're a busy guy.
Man,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
that was fantastic.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
That's your favorite tune, though, right? Of Los Lobos?
Oh, heck yeah.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
The premier
So, gentlemen, we're winding up pretty soon. I know that y'all have gone to a lot of trouble for us this evening. I hope it hasn't been too arduous. I
No,
teach
this is
world
fun.
music.
It's my pleasure.
At UT Martin, I teach a world music class to all of our freshmen, and they're required to watch tonight, but of course they wanted to watch. And one of my kids his name is Slade Robertson. He's a guitarist. And ever since we started looking at these different global music styles, he's just been like, we've been looking at Brazilian choro and cumbia and all these different styles, and he's so excited about it. And he has a question tonight for David specifically. And he says, how long have you had that Telecaster you were playing? I'm a big fan of the way Telecasters sound, and yours looks and sounds gorgeous. So a gear question.
Well, thank you. Well, I like them too. I like Telecasters very much. This is it's kind of a Frankenstein thing. It's a Japanese fender body and a Mexican telly neck and a Gretsch pickup in the bridge and a humbucker in the. It's just this guitar has gone through many changes over the years, and it seems to work the way it is right now.
Wow.
Is that your baby? Your go-to?
Well, it's becoming one. Just put it together recently. It'd been sitting around in parts for a while, but just put it back together so it's alive again.
Little Franken guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you guys, is it Cesar or Cesar? Because Mondo said Caesar. And we always say
Caesar.
Cesar.
Some people say Cesar,
Cesar.
Cesar, Cesare, or
Okay.
Squeezer.
So he's kind of the cumbia guy, right?
Yeah.
Are y'all cool playing a cumbia without him?
Well, he's
He's the vocalist.
Ah, okay. That's good.
It
Sorry, I'm
would-
a cumbia nut, so I just had to
There'd be
ask.
something missing.
No, understood. So anything else you all would like to talk to the students about, or words of
Are these
inspiration?
all aspiring musicians or students who have been studying for a while?
We're both. We're all undergraduate, so it's a lot of students trying to find their path.
Yeah, cool.
yeah. Well, the way things are right now, just
Get a lot of practice in.
yeah. But hang in there. It's have to do all this work from home, or not being able to get out as much as you might want to. It's frustrating, I know, for all of us. So just hang in there and wait it out.
We've got one question from Dr. Carver, actually, which is a good question. What's the secret to your longevity? And I would assume he means as a band, but you might want to say as humans.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
are-
have been together. I mean, you're one of the, with ZZ Top, no personnel changes for decades. It's amazing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well,
We don't want to talk about that.
Oh, no. Okay. I can't bring myself to talk about that.
The first rule of Fight Club.
Jergens lotion.
yeah, they all smell funny.
It's amazing
Plural.
what a mortgage payment will make you do.
Exactly.
But probably in the early days, you guys, sorry.
It's actually friendship. We have a great friendship. And that's been around for the last 45 years.
Well, we were actually friends before we were musicians together. So that's
Yeah.
that's how deep it goes. So I think being friends first, being musicians second. I think that you take the music away, which we hope never happens. You'll still have a bunch of friends.
Or at least us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys, I'm curious to have some, I know you did, some growing pains from self-managing to the arsenal of managers I have spoken to, which have represented you quite well, by the way, for the past month that I've dealt with, and like the band doing roles themselves and how you divided those up and then sort of gradually transferred that to a full-time job. I mean, I think that's very interesting to students.
Yeah, well, we took care of ourselves early on. You know, we were depending on each other. Everybody had their part to take
Right.
take care of the band, make sure that things got done. So we did that for a long time, and then when we found the recording stuff, that people started telling us about or asking us to record music, it became a whole different world. So you have to deal with managers and record companies and all these things that changed everything. So we just go with the flow.
We
Like
just
Steve
try
here,
to live in the
Steve's our landlord.
Yeah, he's our landlord.
We try to live in the place where the music lives. You know, that's
He raised the rent on me the other day, man.
Hey. I don't know what to be careful. I'll evict you.
There's a moratorium right now, man.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
You just wait.
Yeah.
Play one more for us.
Well, I have one last question,
Okay.
which they don't want to hear, but so you guys, the 87 maybe was the La Bamba break.
Yeah.
How has that been a blessing only? And are you so sick of that song you hate it forever? Or can you talk about that?
We hated it for a little while because we made another that By the Light of the Moon album came out at the same time, and so it was overshadowed, and so it hurt our feelings for a little bit, but we're over it. People want to hear it. Why not? Why not? Except for right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna play it now. Sorry.
Therapy.
We don't want you to.
A lot of medication, maybe.
Not at all. Just I know that was a big break song, but didn't know how y'all felt about that internally.
No,
Go
we
ahead,
are totally good with it. We know Richie's family, and that's where it initiated anyway. From the very beginning, they asked us to get involved. So for them, hey, we'll do anything, and we're happy to play it. We're happy to be involved in keeping Richie Valens' legacy alive, and so no regrets.
Absolutely.
Well, if y'all want to play another tune, then we'll kind of have a little wrap up at the end, and we'll be good.
Okay. All right. This isn't a cumbia, but it's almost.
Sorry.
No.
What are we doing?
Do Más y Más.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Con mi chula, come along with me. We'll throw chocolate to have pasando tree. Get on tangled up, fall on the floor. Going bailando, beat down on the doors. Uno pa' adelante, otro pa' detrás. Dame chispas, bebé, dame más y más y más. Let's go bailando, noches looking fine. Jump to the carro, drink a bunch of wine. Don't tell us nothing, we look out of sight. Tell a lot of lies, go outside and find. Uno pa' delante, otro pa' detrás. Dame chispas, honey, más y más y más. darle. Batería. Steve. Uno para adelante, otro para detrás. Dame chispas, bebé, dame más y más. Un paso para adelante, otro para detrás. Dame chispas, dame más y más y más.
Wow.
That was badass. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us.
This has
This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
No, of course, I don't know how awkward it is on your end. From us, it's
It's
beautiful.
it's been an honor. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for thinking of us. And
It's been a great pleasure. Great
Yeah,
pleasure
really.
to be with you all.
And if y'all will hang for just a second, we'll do the closing remarks and keep you for about one more minute, and then we'll let you get on with your gardening for the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, for everyone listening tonight, UTM students, thank you, and everyone else, we hope you've enjoyed our program. For a full list of programs this fall, please visit utm.edu/music events. We have a new series called Live from the Tent, which is indeed live music that will be enjoyed either in person from your cars, a la drive-in, or remotely as you did tonight. Our first Live at the Tent program starts next Tuesday with our Roots of Rhythm world music presentation by our percussion studio at 12 o'clock noon. In addition to Live from the Tent, we have our new Culture Ed online series, which airs every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 8 Central. Lastly, we are hosting a new Connect series on select Sunday afternoons in which students, educators, and community members can have one-on-one time to connect with our faculty and work with them directly for help with music or just to talk shop about the latest greatest COVID-19 mask for WIN players. Anything on music is open for discussion. You can find all of our events on our UTM Music Events page. And also please like and check out Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram pages on social media. Thanks again to Los Lobos, the Wolves, for their fabulous presentation tonight. Gentlemen, it has been such a gift and honor to hear you, talk to you, and get to know you better. And for me and David personally, we're such fans. So thank you so much. Everyone, have a great night.
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Be
guys.
safe out there and vote.
Vote.
Vote. We will.
Alexis, we're good to kill the stream.
Thank you, gentlemen.